Okay, I could start if there's no questions on the other side. I can't see you guys. We were debating on your solution, so maybe you could start off with just giving us a 30-second elevator pitch of what the solution is, just so we're clear, because there was some debate in between what we interpreted.
Sure. So ultimately what's happening is that we are taking in courses, we're pre-training our model, and then we're having it, in a sense, I guess, help the user, the student, and to learn that subject. So let's say I am taking a quiz on a certain subject, and if I answer that wrong, it's going to be able to, like, I guess, scrape based on the answers, and I'll be able to prompt and ask, why did I get this wrong? Because I've developed this pattern of how I've learned through that course. It's going to be fine-tuned to that student. Therefore, not necessarily have this broad AI, but more of a fine-tune for that specific course.
Got it. So if I get just to recap, if I get something wrong, it's going to help me understand why I got that wrong, or I could ask additional questions.
Yeah, to add on to that, you take a course on Coursera and it tells you whether you got something right or wrong directly on a multiple choice quiz. But really, sometimes it's difficult to understand why you got it wrong. But you want to see what's beyond that explanation, and you want it in a way that makes sense to you and your learning and where you are, because everybody's baseline coming into these courses is different, right? So it's fine-tuning it to that person and generating ways, different ways for them to understand.
So my follow-up there would be, if it's helping me understand beyond, it's helping them understand why I got this wrong, and it's giving me additional context that maybe the course didn't. And if that's the case, where are you getting that additional context, or are you just relying on the intelligence of the AI to hope that it has that context?
So ultimately, with the partners, we would ask them, for example, to give the transcripts of that course, and then that's what we would train our model with that specific transcript. That way it doesn't hallucinate and go outside of it. So that's where we will rely upon that information. So we wouldn't go externally, we would stick to the curriculum.
Okay, one last question. When you're going out to market, who would be your ideal customer that you would start marketing this to?
So we'd want to target the Coursera, the Udemy Academy, any on-demand online platform that's basically providing education to consumers.
I'll give you a suggestion. My feedback on that would be, I believe Coursera, Khan Academy will have a team of AI engineers probably building something very similar. I would look towards individual content creators worldwide, there's plenty of them, and then I would look towards global communities. So how can you help individual content creators who don't have an AI team, enable them to have this type of technology, and enable them to make it multi-language and reach a global audience?
Yeah, just a question about, there's a distinction between, you want to provide a personalized learning versus, a contextual learning, because you would say contextual meaning, you can ask questions about this particular course, you train with the course. But personalized meaning, I have my own ability, which every student could be different. But like, you ask that, how do you get all the personalization? I think you talk about transcript. I don't think the transcript itself is enough to do personalization. Is that one of your core value? Still, if that, how do you get more data?
So I guess to personalize the model for each individual student, we'll just track their pattern of learning. So let's say, for example, if I'm doing a math course, right, and I'm really bad at multiplications. So I will have this data in order for me to have the AI model lean towards that. So it's not going to be so much personalized in the sense like it's going to know everything about you, but it's more of how you're transgressing through that course.
I mean, I definitely see the use in this. I think all of us here at some point, we're doing homework at home, and even if it wasn't a digital course, we get stuck on a question on the quiz or whatever work we're doing at the time, and being able to have an AI assistant that knows the curriculum from the entire semester to help me through solving that problem would be super helpful. But then that goes back to my kind of suggestion of don't look at Coursera, maybe even teachers who could implement this into their everyday kind of learning.
So I guess the reason why we chose Coursera is because Coursera is more of a platform that mitigates between a university and a student. So I guess what we're gonna go target is once again the convenience, because we're not gonna specifically go to a university, but rather Coursera, which is the middle platform. And then I guess the next question would be like, well, what's still your idea? Well, that's like saying, why don't they still Harvard's curriculum? All they are basically is a place to be more convenient, and that's what we're kind of targeted, the convenience of Coursera, bringing this pre-built stuff and having it targeted specifically towards them.
All right, we've reached the 5-minute mark.